Hey guys, James Wilson-Taylor here for Roxanne. We are backstage at Reading Leeds Festival 2023. Hot milk on the lineup. Jim and Han join me now. Hi guys, how we doing?
Tip top.
I'm great and not hungover at all.
No, we had a really sensible early night, didn't we?
I feel awful.
You're forgiven though. You have reason to celebrate at time of recording.
Sorry.
It's album release day, guys.
Birthday.
Congratulations.
It's a birthday party.
It does feel like my birthday because basically last night everyone was just buying us drinks and that. And I just got carried away. I was like, this is sick. It's like your birthday.
And I woke up, my girlfriend gave me a balloon this morning and some little cakes to take with us. So it does feel like
presents today.
I know.
It feels like
It's a proper birthday.
Better than me
It's
birthday.
really sweet. I mean, you know, there are worse ways to celebrate an album release day than the main stage of Reading and Leeds, really, aren't there? Like, I mean, that's got to have felt pretty nice to kick off some bigger festivities here.
I don't know. It's just a lot. I feel like because it's so much, I'm not feeling anything right now. I'm just like, you know, like a deer in the headlights, like distraught.
Yeah.
But I think it's mad because this is like where we, you know, fell in love with live music, really, when we cut our teeth, you know, at 15, 16 years old after GCSEs.
It is kind of like
serendipitous.
Yeah, like affirming to be playing the festival on the day that our first album came out at the first ever festival that we went to as kids.
I get really confused because is this real life? Because everything just always slots exactly where it should be.
Good timing is everything.
Yeah, but it's really weird and it freaks me out. It really freaks me out. I'm like, am I just in a dream that I've made myself? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, of course it's this day because I would have dreamt it like this. So what the fuck, world? Stop fucking with me.
Especially Leeds before Reading, which presumably is the one you guys went to
Exactly,
as well.
yeah.
Like, just works so nicely. So nicely. I mean, generally, it's funny you say like it's all a bit hazy, it's all a bit of a dream at the minute.
Yeah.
Serious note, how are you guys actually feeling? We've waited for this day for a long time. You know, we've been tracking you guys since the beginning, but a lot of EPs building this up, writing everything out. How are you feeling? Has it been a bit emotional?
You're making me cry.
It's lovely. No, it's a genuinely lovely moment, guys. It's got to feel
I sobbed on my mate's shoulders last night. I think it's just relief, and I'm obviously quite an emotional person. We would say hot milk is an emotion, mainly because I am. But yeah, I don't know. It's super emotional, man. Like it's put everything into a record that is just a bit of a mental breakdown. So for it to be received by people in a positive way is, you know, it's a bit of affirmation, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like the general reaction's been a really, really positive and good one. So it's kind of, you know, you're always a little bit nervous. I mean, before any record comes out, but this one's been like, fuck it, we haven't put this one up.
yeah.
Yeah, because obviously you don't know, because people lie sometimes. Oh, it's a great song. You're like, whatever. Is it though? Yeah.
Well, it's nice. Like, I mean, it's the one good thing about social media in a way is you can immediately see those reactions. People have been listening since midnight, and it's like, oh, cool, they're fucking with this song. They're into that.
People don't pull
like,
their punches online.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll find a negative comment though, and that'll be the one that I attach myself to for weeks.
Don't let it happen.
No, I do. It's awful.
Don't let it happen. You can't do it. Well, people want to check out more about the album, which is very, very good, as I've told you before. Digital cover story on Roxanne today. Time of recording, you can already go and read it, which is very, very exciting. Something we didn't really touch on in that, though, that I do want to bring up is actually the success around BLOODSTREAM, really. That's really, really connected with even more of a kind in a few like mainstream places. A lot of radio play on that one and all that kind of thing. That's really interesting to have that song in particular kind of kick off. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that one's connecting in that space?
It's just a bit more, it's very more like
accessible.
Yeah. It's more of a radio
I feel like
track,
when we wrote that,
you didn't like it at first.
I didn't really like it, no, but I feel like when we got like halfway through it, I was like, right, I can see where this is going now. And it wasn't written with like a purpose being like, we need to write a radio.
You were out of the room for the first half of it. I was like, come back. You're like, no, I don't like it.
I just,
going in a huff of the corner.
In it.
We're always in huffs.
I know.
Yeah.
We just swap.
Yeah. We're never in a huff at the same time, are we? Actually?
No.
That's quite weird.
I know.
Why are we never in huffs at the same time?
Because probably the world will end. But yeah, no, it's been a bit of a wild one like that. We kind of sent that out to a few mates like at the beginning, and they were like, "Oh, you've really hit on something here."
You can't trust your friends.
No,
I mean, you
know.
can, but you can't because
they're always going to have your corner.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, it's just nice that people think it's good, and I still don't feel like I'm a musician. But you know what I mean? It still just feels like you and me messing about.
Yeah, well, I mean, it always is.
But that's a good thing. Keep that energy, man. Isn't that like, jokes aside, that's got to be a good thing. It still feels to you guys like being back on that living room floor a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what you want. That's how you kind of keep it going.
It's kind of the point of being in a band, isn't it? Like everything else is so stressful that you've got to have.
You don't want to lose that.
It's the same with any job. You've got to have like the good bits to make it actually
I
worthwhile
mean, there's
doing.
loads of
There
good
is,
bits. It's
but
like
there's
any job. It's fucking loads of good bits, you knobhead.
there is, but like that is one of the main bits. It has to be good.
I mean, the music is always the centre of everything, and
Yeah,
if it's
of
not,
course.
then you're doing it wrong. Or it's
Very true.
all of this. It comes and goes. The music, it's like we'll still write this until the day we die. I'll write music even if no one's listening, because I think it's nice for your soul to do.
I mean,
that.
we
Do you
did.
know what I
Very
mean?
true.
Started that doing 16, playing
Yeah.
to 4 people.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
That's what it's about.
Yeah, it's what it's about. Keep it moving, absolutely. It's nice to see reactions to some of the tracks people haven't heard as well. Obviously, that Loveless collab's kind of finally out there. We talked a bit about that in the cover story, as I said. But it's just nice that like that, as we said at the time, great singer, and it's just great to find a voice like that really complements what you guys do as well. I feel like that 3-part harmony and everything, it just clicks. It works really, really
it
nice.
does, because it's like you said, it's really difficult to like find the right person. You know, you could just put anyone in there, but
Quite
like
fussy, aren't we? Really, as
very
well.
fussy.
It's like I think you got to be protective of stuff. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
said,
your art.
I think I said in like your article and that. Like I'm not a huge fan of features. I think people just do them for no reason, don't they? Sometimes, and it doesn't really build.
But if it's a
anything
good
into track.
collaboration, it really does
Just
lift
listen to the song. Listen to the song. What does it need? I always think of it as an entity. It's a living, breathing entity, and it reaches out to you and tells you what it wants.
Yeah.
He worked so well on it. Yeah.
Smashed it.
Yeah, you never want to force it, and that one just like you say, I think you found the right vocalist for the moment there.
Yeah.
It just made a lot of sense on that one.
That song, that song in particular, we were really struggling with like the middle bit, weren't we? We just everything we tried, we were
Came
a bit
back to
like,
that one loads of times.
and then we started talking to him, and he was like, "What about this?" And we were like,
Yeah, that's cool.
"Yes."
There you go.
Done. Sorted.
That was easy.
Deal. Oh, there we go. It finally clicked. It's all good. In terms of things coming up, I want to mention this Pride Rocks event, which I think is just really, really interesting. Like that's kind of the first of its kind in a way, which kind of surprised me. Like normally you don't see something like that in the rock space. I think it's really cool you guys are getting involved
I
and
think
get
it's
to do
sick.
that.
There's so many
It's such a good idea.
LGBTQ like artists in rock,
Yeah.
so to have that is, necessary.
For me, I've never felt like super like I'd belonged at Pride. I used to like, mess about and go, but I never felt like it was for me per se. I just think I always felt like not, I was a mosher first and foremost, and so, and don't get me wrong, pop world's got its moments, and I do like, poppers on the dance floor, but it's nice.
Sir Phyllis Baxter song.
Oh, poppers on the dance floor. That's a new one. Is Charlie here? Because he might have brought it. Anyway, never mind. I just think it was cool to do. I think it's important because I think, there's more gay people than ever, and the big gay people have more than just one type of music sense, you know what I mean? So it's nice to do. It was a really fun night, and I had a great sandwich that day, so yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Banging.
No.
Big up Brighton.
Brighton,
Yeah, big
and
up
Brighton
Brighton.
is a great place to do it.
Oh,
Brighton's
Always
such
a good
sick
crowd
town.
for gigs there. And
Yeah.
like whenever I've gone to gigs there, it's like, people are up for it here. It's
Yeah,
always
like
a
the
good
Great
time
Escape was
anyway.
always carnage.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was
right.
that kind of energy, wasn't it? It's like
It was just kind of like
sweaty.
DIY
Yeah,
vibes.
it was
It was nice
sick.
to play a small venue like that as well after such a busy summer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it really was.
good.
No, I'm glad that came together well. Long may it continue. And also, last time we spoke as well, developing that live show. You promised me big theatrics. You promised me the most ambitious you've done so far.
Man.
Ambitious for a debut album was another phrase that came out there.
It is ambitious.
What
is.
If you pull it
kind
off.
of what kind of stage are we at now? I know you were literally building the set list when we were talking last time.
It's
Like,
done.
what kind of- It's done.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
cool.
done. There's kind of a concept that we're following throughout this kind of new live show that we're putting together. So like I've designed like a lighting package that complements that.
Great.
That
You've not programmed
concept.
it yet.
No,
though,
I've not.
That'll be a month's work.
I know we need to learn the songs first.
Yeah, we do.
fair
We
enough.
don't know the songs.
But it's really cool. I think we've always been really clinical with like our live performances. We've always thought about like every single element of it and tried things out, and stuff works, stuff doesn't work. And now I feel like we've got the extended like body of music to really go in and just kind of do every single thing that we wanted to do live. We've got all those songs now that can do so many different things.
I think the whole thing is going to be a bit of a journey. I think it always, like, obviously the concept of the record is this like kind of singularity. You're on this precipice, you're pulled in one direction, you're shouting into a void, and you kind of feel drawn to it. So we're going to kind of play on that feeling, and the idea, I mean, not to give too much away, but the idea is that the set itself, it is that precipice. Nice. And we are kind of, creating this void that we are in. So it'll be really exciting, I think, and to do stuff like with the lights and stuff is it's going to be really exciting for you to do and long for you to do.
I know.
Sorry.
I mean, it's one of the reasons. I know, but it's one of the reasons why, like.
If I could help, I would, but I don't know your twiddly knob bits. I don't know. I can just point and say, you know what I want.
King of the knobs, aren't I?
King of the knobs, you are.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the reasons, like.
I can tell you what I want, you can make it happen.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
usually what happens.
Yeah. I don't like that. I like this. I don't like that.
This better. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I wanted to be in a band, is to kind of like do cool production shit.
It opens doors to other things, which is what I really like actually about Hot Milk, is that we obviously music's at the centre, but I really am enjoying the bye.
I'm here. Sorry.
I'll have that for a change.
I'm thirsty.
He's allowed a refreshment fresh from the stage.
White wine, that's not refreshing, is it? What is it? Is it
yeah.
Chardonnay?
It's
horrible, that. It's a nice one, that, anyway.
good.
I've got this little guy. What was I saying? It's nice to be able to be creative in other ways. Like, so we've obviously got to do the artwork ourselves, and I do all like the merch and stuff with a girl called Abby.
We're very much in sync with like the videos as well.
Yeah, I just find it really enjoyable to be creative in so many different ways, and that is like the blessing of this band, is like just being able to really scratch a lot of itches.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
So many different facets of.
When you've got creative thrush.
Exactly that.
So
That's
you
the way
can
of wording it.
scratch
Creative thrush. There we are.
Yeah.
It's
horrible,
world building,
that,
though, isn't it? And that's what so many bands and artists are doing. It's the world building, and that kind of it draws people then further into the music and get them to explore everything. No, definitely, you should. Really cool. It is interesting.
I'd love to write a book one day or something like that. I feel like something when I'm old in a little what do you call, like a shed in the woods, when I'm living there off grid with all my golden retrievers. That's what I want to do.
The plan?
Yeah, write a little book about like vampires and dwarves or something. Love you.
Twilight.
Lord of the Rings,
like yeah,
written
dwarf,
in the woods.
Dwarf
Lord of the
vampires.
Twilight.
Could you imagine dwarf vampires?
What, nibbling your feet?
Yeah, like Lord of the Rings.
I feel we've gone off track here, but we'll carry on. We'll carry on. Before I let you guys go and enjoy release day, album release day, one of the things you did.
I don't want to drink anymore, though. Really.
I'm feeling you're gonna. One thing.
Cheeky
you
bastard!
Did,
What are you
oh,
saying?
please, you
What's
know
he
I'm
saying
talking
here?
about. What am I saying here?
It's an alcoholic.
So you said as well last time we spoke that at least the title, you think, of album 2 is already there.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is kind of an amazing place to be when we're literally on release day of album 1.
It's the opposite of what this one was. This one was like named last, and I feel like things are coming together for that one in my mind way before they came together for this one, which means that the music might struggle. Something's gonna give. If I've got a plan,
probably the other way around. Yeah.
I feel like with this one we need to like let it breathe a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
We need to let this one breathe a bit, because we've always been very much like EP, next EP, and it's never been like a time to go and actually like enjoy those songs and give them the you know kind of time they deserve and play them. And so I know we have to start on the album, but I really want to be present and enjoy this.
Yeah, of course. As you well should, and celebrate it properly. No, absolutely you should. Actually, there's a question that just occurred to me there when you say about the EPs and everything. Do we feel like we're done with EPs now, or do we feel like there might be stop gaps in between, or?
I think I'd like to do another album.
Albums are weird though, aren't they? Like, is the age of an album over? Like, what world are we living in currently? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like a body of music is a body of music.
Yeah.
And it can be. We call things EPs and albums, but
yeah.
If it's a set of songs that go together and fit, maybe it's just a deliverance.
Well, I guess this was a bigger journey through this, so it makes sense to do it as a.
But I think I kind of reject this like notion of album EP tilings.
I think the album.
Static for me.
The thing with an album is like you get a bit more room to kind of experiment with other stuff, so you can have like, you know, these interludes. You can have stuff that kind of like takes you on this journey. It could be a little bit slower. It doesn't have to be like bam, bam, bam. Whereas I feel like EP is kind of just like a collection of singles.
I do think like in like the rock community, in our world, people do still listen to albums. But I think you get told constantly like albums are dead or whatever. But I feel like I still love listening to an album front to back. And I like that. But will children? Because everything's so.
Children.
Well, everything's like so fast-paced now.
I think it does really depend on what you're trying to say, though. Like this makes sense for an album.
True.
We talk about the themes of it and everything. That makes sense to be like this bigger flowing body of work. But there's nothing wrong with little sugar hits now and there.
Exactly. And who's to say like we had something to say this time? Next time I might be like, fuck it, I've got now to say. Here's some good songs. You know what I mean? Like,
is that the title you've come up with already?
Yeah.
That's the title. Now to say.
Now to say.
So fuck it. In brackets.
Brackets. So fuck it.
Well, we've named it now.
There you go.
There we go. It's going
Coming
have
to
to
stores
stick.
near you.
Guys, congratulations on the record. Have a
you very
great release day, great
Thank you,
release
mate.
week. We will chat again soon, I'm sure.
We will.
Hot milk, everybody.
Bye.